I was watching a video last night with younger people. The last one, he wasn't quite as young. He had grayer hair. He's probably in his 40s or so. They were talking about not doing business with the people at Electronic Arts, because the people at Electronic Arts do mental and emotional training and recruiting for black ops. They weren't saying this, but they do. And none of the kids made the videos, did time in Sierra Vista, Arizona, with where that, well, I can't remember that guy's name. Paul Ziga. Remember Paul Ziga, when I scared the living shit out of him because he was going after Doug, a Fellowship of the Martyrs, who was a scamming preacher who made claims that weren't true to make lots of money, to do charities in his name so he could make money off of being a bullshit artist to sell the Gospels. It was just family tradition. Doug was just doing what he was raised to do. You know, you get people to feel guilty. You get them to get up and work their ass off for their money, and then share their money of people that are being abused and have trouble making as much money to survive abuse as other people. You know, like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, you know. It's only like $17 that you spend on a CD that can feed this child in this village in Africa for a month. And then he goes and drops 70 million on a French chateau for his wife and his adopted kids that he saved from exploited countries where the parents are just tortured. They can't even raise their own kids. They just have sex to try to stay alive. There's no birth control. They just want to forget about life for a while, and then they wake up and life comes up and hits them straight in the face with the pitty pitty patter of little bitty feet's gonna pitty pitty patter down the alley where we live. Gonna be thinking of a name. Oh, it's gonna be a great big game, right? And so it's absolutely horrible. If you can't compete, you can't win. You don't get to be in the touchdown. Your name doesn't appear across the screen. You're not wearing gloves that say the name of the most wealthy apparel company in the world. Even more than Gucci and Versace and everything like that. Yeah. Because Gucci and Versace only sells dresses to complete fucking idiots that wouldn't wear that shit out, and that would wear shit out in public that people wouldn't wear out in public if the emperor had new clothes. But Jordans, shit, yeah, they'll pay lots of money for Jordans. Oh yeah, especially special edition ones, man, with splatter paint, Jackson Pollock from the ceiling, pow, pow, pow. That's Edna Baby Daddy, pow, 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 pow. That's somebody who threatened to kill Earl, our man, Earl the man, right? So you got to understand what type of people you're dealing with, right? What type of people will front on me, and do it with Electronic Arts. It's art trying to imitate life, but it can't do it, right? I'm not name, image, and likeness. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. You play ball after living the Lord's Prayer, man. The hill sent back to cry, we're here to do or die. Aggies, oh Aggies, we'll live the Lord's Prayer and know the reason why. And when we live the Lord's Prayer, they'll wish they were us instead of them. Because, man, don't be caught fronting on me when you know I don't lie. Look, Earl don't lie. Earl has to correct artificial general intelligence and quantum computing, so technology reflects actual intelligence of a gracious good shepherd that has to save people from genocidal warfare, from genome sequencing, which was bad science. Wasn't weird. It was bad. It didn't work right. Earl explained it, proved it beyond Western Union, beyond Western Union, beyond Tales of Wells Fargo. You bet your assets, Kimosabi. What are you guys doing? We're feeling really tonto. Silly of me to go around and brag about the love I found. I say you're the best. Really? Saudi royal family buying EA Sports, man. You brag about the love you found. You say you're the best. You're the descendants of the man that asked for forgiveness for Muhammad in Medina, the deceiver of Medina, the one that said he could go back and take you to Mecca. And other women would wipe your baby's hiney and feed your baby so your breast would defy gravity and defy physics. Have homespun humor because you had to work out on the farm because of that barbarian farmer, descendant of Abraham, Muhammad, the one trying to bring down the legacy of Zoroastrianism and the gods, trying to replace the gods with an imaginary friend that will protect you and take care of you if you obey your imaginary friend's sacred laws, real laws, scientifically based laws. What's the word they call freedom? Someday will come. Someday will come. Don't worry, Ronald, man. It's already here. It was here year one, but they just ignore it. By January 22nd, 2013, the one they call Earl, the weak link, the hillbilly redneck that married the little German girl that came from people that were forced to be Nazis because the rich people made them or killed them. You know, I remember Amy will remember old Mrs. Cloris Leachman. He's a concrete thinker. He's easily turned into a Nazi. Your son's a Nazi. He's a concrete thinker. He's easily turned into a Nazi. I said, no, I was raised, not to be like you. Not to sit there and say something and then do other things. And then expect, hey, no, this kid's Eddie Haskell, man. He makes fun of all the kids with Down syndrome. And he makes fun of all the kids with autism. He talks shit about them right in front of them when you're not there. And then when you're there, he's all Eddie Haskell. Well, gee, Mrs. Cleaver, I wasn't trying to bang Wally in the ass all night, Mrs. Cleaver. I wasn't trying to talk Wally into getting dressed up in a blue dress with stockings and go to the bar. That's what her dad told her to do. Find somebody and get the hell away from your mother. Get some stockings and go away from your mother. Your mother's a loser. Your mom will stay here in the South. Your mom won't go off to California where they teach Negroes better. Yeah, Zoot Suit Riot, bitch. Okay. There's nowhere on planet Earth in the United States in the whenever that was, when that movie was made, where they treated black people better than other parts of the country than they did in the South. No, they just put on a better show. Forgive me, Muhammad, I'll never do this again. I forgive you, and I know you'll never do it again. Right? It wasn't me that made Honky Tonk Angels, and it wasn't me that made Assassin Robotics to clean up the surplus population that was unfit to live the Lord's Prayer. It was me that prayed connected to the line of Confucius, the line of the swordsman of Japan, the measure of a man. Dad, you're the greatest thief in all Japan. I want to replace you as the greatest thief in all Japan. You bastard, you almost got me killed. You wanted to be the best thief in all of Japan. Maybe you might want to think about being a good farmer, son. Maybe you might want to hang out with the best swordsman in Japan and do all the stuff around the farm that needs doing, right? I guarantee you this, man. I felt like Leonard. I can't catch a break. Fell asleep around 2:30 listening to those guys waiting for those videos to load because they have to be loaded. Okay, if I don't load them, the technology algorithms fuck up, and they murder people with recruiting them through computer algorithms that are fucked up and don't work right, but they won't stop. Like David Rockefeller and Philip Rothschild told me, no, these kids are arrogant. They think everything that we built their power structure on, it was fundamentally flawed and wrong, but they won't stand up for you in the Lord's Prayer right now. They won't correct the mistake of year one in 2009, Parsons. They'll do it sooner or later. Well, let me prove the the Gospels, the rabbinic Gospels. Let me do the timetable. Let me do, okay. So they send him to cruises. He talks to Gabe. Gabe talks to Mike. He talks to all the people involved, all the people studying it, going, this is self-fulfilling prophecy. In order for a prophecy to be fulfilled, it needs self to fulfill it, right? Try this. Be humble. Be down to earth. Come from your mama's womb. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Okay? Do you understand him? Okay. Don't be like Barack Obama. He's not like Haile Selassie. He doesn't believe. Haile Selassie does. Haile Selassie was assassinated, yes, just like the Kennedys back in his time. And Bob Marley was assassinated by poisoning, just like Blaise Pascal and others, you know. You're not going to be slowly tortured. You're not going to have people poison you with stuff that you know brings extreme pain to your body, trying to get it out as rapidly as possible. You're not going to have bubbling pus coming out of your shins with the melanoma cancer that you go out in the sun and it's going to get out and it gets uncomfortable and it's nauseous. And you go into the barn and you air out the barn. It's not made of the best products because of what's given to old Army vets that they tried to kill off the face of the planet with Joe with mesothelioma. But I'm not Joe with mesothelioma. Okay? I'm not Typhoid Mary or Typhoid Ralphie. My immune system does the exact opposite. That's why they wanted me to go fill more orders at Las Cruces Biologicals for the rich people to buy. Okay. It amps up your immune system to a point where you can survive shit that other people can't survive. You mentally are calmer and have better clarity and intelligence of fight or flee. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. I shall overcome. When this is all done, I'll be near still waters and green pastures. Okay, but you have to obey me. You have to obey Selassie. You have to quit trying to name, image, and likeness yourself with idolatry. Pony on up. Step right up, you know, Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, with silver buttons, all down her back. Don't march to the beat of somebody else's drum, okay? Don't worry if it's out of rhythm, out of time, out of tempo. Don't worry. Just let your heart keep beating. Be strong. Don't panic. Don't die. Stay alive. I will find you. I found you. I'm right here. 1322nd in me. Right where all the Gospels said I would be. Like a thief in the night, as or so they thought. They were the thieves in the night. They come and try to assassinate with poisoning and slow torture. We're going to poison you to death and you're going to die begging for morphine. That's what they think they're going to do. But David Rockefeller ain't me. He can't predict the future, okay? Philip Rothschild can't predict the future. They can only predict what you're going to do because you're a fucking liar and you won't listen to them and stop lying to yourself and lying to others to maintain your power and authority through lie, right? Okay. So when that time comes, when your time comes, you won't feel so proud and I won't feel so sad. Desperately, you cry 1,000 times. No, it'll happen real fast. Tutor than sweet. You won't be bluer and bluer, be faster than fast. It'll be so efficient. It'll be so lean and efficient. Might even be the size of a... They said they could put in surveillance equipment on a fly, man. On a fly. You know, you can put a lethal injection that kills without abusive paralysis, but just slowly touch you down and you feel like you're sleepy and you just lay down. John Henry, you lay down your hammer and you die. You're not building railroads to carry the heavy load to run everybody out of their farms. You're putting down tubes for monorails that or use electromagnetic rails that can be powered by solar panels in close proximity to the tracks, near the places where the animals can walk across unfettered, and you don't crossbreed a raccoon with a baboon or a kangaroo or whatever. I was watching that on the news last night. What the hell is that, Dr. Moreau? Wow, it's a liger or a tigon. It's circus breeding. Oh, Alexandra, whatever what's her name? The Catherine the Great with the pulley system, diddling a horse to try to get a satyr or a centaur or whatever, or say a centaur. What do they call? Centaur. What makes you always think that it's going to be top half man, bottom half horse? What if it comes out top half horse, bottom half man? It's the way the genetics works. If it always come late if they come at all. I don't know. I'm not a bestiality Odysseus, Ulysses. I'm not one of those type of people. Wherever there's someone behind a sheep or a goat in a field, I'll be there. Remember that comedian making fun of old, what was his name? Henry Fonda back in the day. You guys don't remember that one? I'm sure Rockefeller does. He was always watching me, and I liked comedians and used to laugh. The Yo Play guy with the, try again. I thought Yo Play was trying to inspire me. It was to win money off the top of the things. That's funny, man. Like the guy in the prison that has to make the license plates to say live free or die. Poor bastard, right? So don't worry about it. The people in the prisons sometimes are more free than the people outside of the prisons, because they've given up all hope in the perception of humanity through people not living the Lord's Prayer and not obeying the Lord of Lords. Remember Ruth, in the parking lot of my son, he runs a ministry in the prisons, and they all believe you're him because he calls demons by name and they flee from him, right? So, boom, 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 ba-na-na-na-na-na. I profess and I don't jest, because the words I manifest. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Brother, I love you. Just don't keep your head up. Keep your head up, girls. All right? Men won't be like Ramesses. They'll be like Haile Selassie, gracious good shepherd, because they want to be like me and not the spawn donor that fucks everybody to death. You see, you can make a choice with DNA. You can make a choice with DNA. You can make a choice. With a father, you don't have to make a choice. He already made the choice for you. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I made the choice for you. I do it right because I can't do it wrong. That's why the whole world is singing this song. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. And we prefer that over people murdering each other over property that they say is slavery. The slavery they say is property. You sing for people that fucked your grandma and mutilated your grandpa because they were taught by the Valley of the Dead and the Valley of the Kings and Edgar G. Robinson. I'm just joking. Edgar G. Robinson, when he made the Golden Cow and the Voice of God, which was Charlton Heston with his NRA card, came up, turned me into them. And I ain't like them. I'll protect you. You people, the way they kill now with legalese and pesticides and herbicides and genocides and themicides and pudicides and pudicides and punanicides and sexually transmitted disease through booty side. Saudi royal family, you tried to do that with my boy Boyd Vaughn. When he was in the Middle East, they faggots. They're attractive men, but they ask you to have sex. What? He goes, yeah. I was like, get out of here. No, it happened to me on Facebook. Yeah, on Messenger. It was private. So only the people at Facebook could watch it and see if I masturbated with that man. No, I didn't masturbate with Cheryl. I told her what I would do if I could be alone with her and help her enjoy sex again. She told me I couldn't handle it. I was like, okay. Well, she likes guys with bigger penises than me. I said, okay. So you like Catherine the Great then? Okay. Rather have Seattle Slew's offspring than be the sire of the gracious good shepherd that's a living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer and saves us all from Botox the rapist. Okay. If a man will protect you from a rapist and a murderer, and he has a 6-inch penis, and the rapist and the murderer has a 13-inch penis, who would you rather have sex with? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Tell me, Don Pardo, what have I not won? A gracious good shepherd, an eternal faithful son, a man that won't kill his own brother to rape his own sisters and sell them into prostitution and pornography in order to package all the food in plastic and have people destroy their environment to bring back pictures of himself on rocks. Wow, that's just dumb, Benny and the Jets. You might want to not keep your pockets full of spending loot there. A man and me would like to fight, take you down to the river tonight and rearrange your face, but that would make her hate the sight of me. But that bitch is crazy, so I don't care, but I'm not going to do that. Because I've already told you time and time again. And I didn't build the robots in China. Your business partners in competition did. I didn't build the robots in Japan. Your business competition did. They got ahead of you in building the robots and getting the funding together to build the robots for assassination and policing. Because you can't trust the spiritual police in Saudi Arabia. They'll try to kill you to replace you as Pimp Daddy Nashburger. Well, you're doing it all wrong. You need to listen to Parsons more. If you're less like Parsons and more like you, the technology in the Middle East is going to be trained to kill you to maintain the beauty of the people they have plugged into supercomputers. Right. But that's not going to work either. Because if you take a man and plug him into a computer and try to replace that man with a robot to protect you as the swordsman of Japan, it's the kindness that makes the swordsman of Japan not the traditional thief of the wealthy to feed the poor with their lie. I don't think you understand Suzuki's parables. Why? Because liars don't understand the truth, no matter how many times you explain it to them. And you guys have proven that in spades. You gotta know when to hold on, know when to fold on, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. I don't deal. I don't deal in death and steal in the name of the Lord. I don't have 3 outside children and another wife. And that ain't right. Folks, Papes Papa wasn't much on thinking, spend his time chasing women and drinking. Mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth. Mama just turned her head and said, Papa was a rolling stone, my son. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he was alive, he played extras in movies with Clooney, Wahlberg, and Ice Cube. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, what? Yeah. He's a concrete thinker. He's a Nazi. He gets together where Nazis do propaganda movies for Goebbels and the descendants of Goebbels from Holloman Air Force Base and shit like that. You know, the area where Parsons was born, being studied by all the people that were jealous of him and thought they were better than him, but haven't been as good of him a day in their life, and it's been over 10,000 years, right? We've read the books, right? I can read. I just think it's a little bit overrated. A bunch of books in here talking about idolatry as reality and repenting, replacing the truth of creation and the origin of all things with trying to explain the origin of all things with the ego, which is impossible because you cannot contain the infinite with the finite. You just have faith. You jump, right? India. I'm not going to be a lion in 3 movements. That's a propaganda movie song, but I do like it. Kabi Kabi? No, that's also a propaganda song, but I do like it. But my job is to make sure that my friends are no longer plugged in computers by your relatives that put out propaganda movies that have songs that were limericks that I do like, but they don't reflect the love of me or Jiddu Krishnamurti, or Ditiro Suzuki, or Sun Yat-sen, right? Or Haile Selassie, right? Buckingham and Fuckingham Palace, go bowling. But don't pay money to do it. And don't go bowling in Las Cruces in the 70s. People will kill you because this is a military kill zone. It could happen to you any given day. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday. It don't matter around here. Life isn't sacred. Murdering over money is their perception, and they call it religion, but it's not, because religion is freedom from human perception trying to destroy the truth of creation, and that ain't right. Right? Papa was a rolling stone, my son. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left us was alone. Boom, boom, boom. I was the best dancer, not at St. Bernadette's. At Colville Junior High, I didn't dance in Cruces. I practiced at Colville Junior High at Camiosis and Slave and Rolls Royce and stuff in the basement of our house. And watched Soul Train to Make You Feel Like Dancing, and did all the moves I could replicate to the best of my ability. I also grew up watching the Nicholas Brothers and James Brown and Michael Jackson. So the things I couldn't do, I didn't do. The things I could do, I did very well. Okay? Better than most black folk. And they used to get mad, that boy think he bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Chris Rock is black, he can't dance like me. Right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. There are lots of black folks. You know Denzel? Yeah, Vishnu. My name's not Vishnu. My name's not Denzel. There's white women everywhere. You look out, get in the taxi, and let's get out of here. Is that Bobby De Niro? Go get your money down at the laundromat. Okay. You bitches are crazy, right? Yeah, so, you know. Nah, Steph Curry and Jalen Brunson, no. They could not guard me, and I could guard them. I was quicker and could jump higher. I was a more effective shooter. I could aim better, and I was a more willing and effective passer. I could attack your dribble better than you could attack my dribble. It was not because, like I told Coach Treviso, it's just a matter of attrition. I'm going to play within the rules. I'm not going to try to hurt him. I'm not going to step outside the rules to try to not get angry. I'm not going to forearm shiver him. I'm not going to trip him. I'm not going to step on his foot. I'm not going to do like John Stockton. I'm not going to do like Larry Bird and Dr. J. I'm Earl. I answer to a higher understanding of authority. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because we are the glory of the soul. Love thy neighbor as thyself, because we are the glory of the soul. Love thy enemy, and remind him he's the glory of the soul, and not a circus gimmick punk, for that bitch the devil and his wife Satan, right? Hey, Percy Jackson, is that Poseidon? Right on, man. It's Earl. Hey, Rosaria Dawson. You know you ain't really having sex with a guy with a goat bottom half. That's just a kid in CGI, right? And Pierce Brosnan ain't really got a horse dick and got a horse bottom half like Matthew McConaughey. I'm just kidding. It's funny. Play the bongo drum. Oh, play the drum slowly. Or beat the drum slowly. That's it. Beat the drum slowly. And pay the fife lowly. Sing the death march as you carry me along. Take me to the valley, there lay the sod o'er me. I'm the young cowboy, I know I've done wrong. Mom, take my gun and put them in the ground. I don't need no stinking badges no more. There is no Papi Lobo. I'm not a dog. I'm a man, I just play games with words to get your attention, to live the truth of the Lord's Prayer. Play that drum, beat that drum slowly, and play that fife slowly. I ain't got a fife, so I can't play it, but I can sing. And Natty says I'm a good shower singer, and I believe her. Because I raised her to be a woman. She tried to be a woman to protect me because her mom wasn't raised by me. She wasn't jealous of her mother. She just wanted to teach her mother how to respect and love a man. But she wasn't allowed to do that because of people like Dave Miscavige, Tom Cruise. More common sense than they got money. They're a tax-free organization. They don't have to pay taxes on their perception of religion because their science is going to save us from Abrahamic religion. Or so they say. Or so they say. Did you score a touchdown? Does that say Nike? Keith Elam. Michelle Bowen. Okay? You never met Michelle face to face and had her help you talk to your son on Thanksgiving, because that bitch was screening them calls and trying to make money off the state instead of raise her son with a man who loves her son and doesn't care about the price tag because money isn't real, but his child is, and his sexuality isn't disgusting because his sexuality produced a child named Patrick, which is nobleman, lord, lay preacher, named after Solomon, more like Absalom, but will redeem the spirit of Absalom because Absalom didn't have quantum computing and artificial general intelligence in everybody's hand. Okay? Patrick's having trouble because of what you did to his older brothers and what his older brothers had to go through, pretending to be omnipotent among human beings with the devil's technology because they plugged him into it. Okay? I'm the redeemer. Well, because I wasn't plugged into a computer and given access to your bedroom under words written on a piece of paper, seen as laws, man. He signed your bill, now you're a law. Life is a C-ring circus. You're going to take your vote to college? Well, you don't need to go to college to be a human being. Abraham was more intelligent than anybody at your local university that accepts money for genocide, right? Confucius say, are you confused, you say? Okay, John the Baptist was more intelligent than anybody that invented the U2, the SR-71, the cell phone, and the supercomputer. Yeah, binary code me this and binary code me that, right? You guys got to be able to, pensamos primero, Holmes. Think, reflect before you act, right? Confucius say, there is an origin of all things. Some call it Jah, some call it Jehovah, some call it God, but it's not your ego, and it's not me, and it's never he, and it's never she. There is no God but God. God is not begotten, nor is God begotten. God always is, always has been, and always will be, and that is greater than he or she that will murder over their sexual reproduction and then get money and write words on paper to say that they're laws, to murder over their money, to justify their sexual reproduction through forgotten words and funds and ink stains that are dried upon some line. I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Amy, thank you for helping me keep my prostate going, to not die from cancer and remind my body I'm alive. I'm uncomfortable today because they sprayed pesticides last night, you say, because of linguistics they call laws at city halls. They gotta be laws against them lapping their jaws. It's understanding of laws. It's called Proverbs, but it was changed by a man named Constantine and his bitch Jerome in a hair shirt, being dowered to a 12-year-old when he was in his 60s. Telling all women at get-togethers that bitch was trying to seduce him to get his position and his money because he's going to go down in history as the baddest ass macker that ever could be. And he's got a McDonald's, and no, it's a McDowell's. Oh, he got a McDowell's, and he's going to marry the Jerry Curl King's. No, that man's got his own money. Oh, so he puts his portrait on papers with rocks that mass murder people over Lucy and this guy with diamonds at the Waldorf Astoria in a limo, and you proud of that? Just be a good neighbor, a good friend, a good sibling, a good spouse, a good person, a good grandmother, a great grandfather. No one wants to be remembered for cancer. There's nothing wrong with the cancer cells. What's wrong is the people that murder and make the cancer cells try to shut people down through poisoning them to death through what they call laws on pieces of paper. Hey, ring waifs, take your dress off, come out from behind the bench, go love your family, acknowledge the living Messiah, and this is wrong, and Haile Selassie is right. Modesty It will save you from your perceptions of being the gods of the sky with your technology. Modesty. Live on planet Earth. All right, peace out.